Okay, so Major League Baseball has announced this weekend that the start of spring training is delayed until the 5th of March. Um, Recently, talks have broken down again between the Players Association and the league. This is going to be a very long lockout, I think. Now, I could be wrong. The league has set aside 5 days next week for negotiation with the Players Association, as I'm recording this video, on the 20th of February 2022. However, with what's gone before over the last 2.5 months, don't hold your breath if you're a Major League Baseball fan. This lockout is very damaging for the league. Fans are frustrated. But the issues that led to this lockout are long-standing. I've covered that before. I've covered it in live streams when people are asking questions in discussion. I've covered it in videos. I was surprised back in 2020 that when they were having the resumption to play talks, they didn't renegotiate the CBA like other leagues did in North America. The NHL, the NBA, the NFL, they all decided to adapt their CBA because they were expecting reduced revenues, reduced crowds, if crowds at all, and they worked around the CBA to make sure that they could get games played. Now, what also I find striking is the Players Association didn't work with the league to amend the CBA or extend the CBA at the beginning of December. They just, the league and the Players Association, both sides were happy to let it lapse. And all 30 team owners were unified in their stance in regards to this lockout. You need 2/3 majority, I believe. So all 30 owners were happy to lock the players out. The few meetings the Players Association have had with the league have been brief. And when I say brief, I mean brief. The best way to describe it is a primary school lesson lasts longer. Some of the meetings, one of the meetings was recorded as little as 7 minutes, and one of the meetings that was held this week lasted 15 minutes with the main meeting, and then an unofficial meeting between the head of the Players Association and the chief negotiator for the league lasted a further 20 minutes, following on from that in an ante-room. So in total, 35 minutes. So that just shows how both sides are not really willing to negotiate. Now, the Players Association have put a counter proposal onto the table in regards to the arbitration rights, length of contract, the percentage of players who will be put forward for arbitration rights, and are willing to move a little bit on that. But that's it. They put a counter offer on the table. Both parties want to expand the playoffs. It's just about how many teams go into the playoff pool. The league wants 14. The Players Association wants 12. And that's about as far as we get with ideas being put on the table that can be negotiated. Every other point, both sides have dug their heels in, from what I can gather. Now, I'm not an expert on Major League Baseball. I'm not an expert on sports finances. The nitty-gritty details of contracts, length of contract, arbitration, escrow, that's for the economists to work out. That's for the lawyers to work out. But what it seems from my point of view as a sports fan, and I am an NHL fan, and I use this example, is I'm seeing a lot of parallels with the 3 NHL lockouts we had between the mid-90s and the mid-2010s, including the 04-05 lockout that wiped out a whole season. What amazes me is baseball has lasted this long since 1994-95 without labour unrest. That is ridiculous. Considering the history the league has had with strikes and lockouts since the 1970s, a very tenuous piece has lasted. Now, the last time the CBA was activated after being negotiated was in 2017. They agreed it in December 2016, and it became ratified for the start of the 2017 season. So they've been going on with this current CBA, which was renegotiated and extended since that time. But yeah, this delay to spring training, I think, is a signal from intent from the league that they're putting pressure now on the Players Association. Because I can't think for 1 second, I cannot believe for 1 second that the team owners are actually happy not to be making any money. They are trying to pressurise the Players Association into caving in. I don't think the Players Association are willing at this time to give up their position. So I believe that we're going to pass this March 5th provisional date. spring training will be pushed further back, and then we will have a delay to the start of the regular season, and we may have a fair proportion of the season lost to lockout. How much of the season is lost is up to the Players Association and the league. But this is a move from the league to put pressure on the Players Association to come to the table and be in a weaker position. And at the moment, from what I can tell from the Players Association and the league, they're not willing to really negotiate the nitty gritty. So we'll see what happens. But the longer this goes on, the more damaging this is for Major League Baseball as a brand. And it's more damaging for both parties because both parties are seen as greedy by fans at a time when economically a lot of people have got less money in their pockets because of the COVID pandemic and the economic situation, not only in the US and Canada but also globally. There's been a bit of a global slowdown anyway, even before the pandemic, and so people are feeling the pinch in their pockets. Rising cost of living, you know, that's going to hit people in their pockets, and if fans can go, well, I'm not watching baseball this season, I've just saved myself X amount of dollars, they're going to save themselves X amount of dollars. So people will start voting with their wallets. Even when the league resumes, they will find cheaper forms of entertainment that can fit within their family budget. That's a fact. So the longer this goes on, the more damaging it becomes for Major League Baseball to try and encourage those fans that are annoyed and frustrated to actually buy back into the product. So we'll see what happens. But there you go. Thank you very much for watching. Please place your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll have some more videos for you very, very soon.